Ladies and gentlemen, we're back into the wacky world of Spirited Justice. Last time, we determined that maybe time travel did not happen, and it was just a whole family of people putting on one person. As for what ends, we have our guesses, but let's keep the show rolling, and maybe we'll see some twists and some turns and a whole lot more butts. Gaslighting the trial. Yeah, no, that's the most succinct way to put it. Succinct and elegant. I like it. Shame we didn't get an Easter stream. Well, what kind of game would you figure would be an Easter type game? Something Yoshi related? You ever should play Sonic Adventure 2 and focus on 100%ing the Chow Garden? You know, they hatch from eggs. Anyways, Athena, we're coming back into the office, and Athena goes, "What? So the whole time travel thing was just a ruse put on by guests at the reception? Looks like it. I know there had to be some kind of trick to it." Wow, 2 wedding receptions? Can you imagine? I wonder how much that must have cost them. I have no idea. But if you have to ask, you're not rich enough to want to know. Still, if you got the money, it's a pretty good way to cover things up if you ask me. You got that right. I'm sure I would have been completely fooled. Hi, I'm back. That just sums up my end this whole game, doesn't it? She's back. She took a leave of absence for 2 games, and now everything is right again. Hey, Maya. You all set to go? Yep. Ready when you are. So, what should we start with? Let's start with reviewing what we learned at the trial. What Ellen thought was time travel was really just a performance put on by the Sprockets. But other than that, it seems that what Ellen told us was actually all true. So, what really matters right now is the identity of the mystery person Ellen said she saw while she was being attacked. So, who is this mystery person? That's the million-dollar question, I'm afraid. If we want to clear Ellen of any suspicion, then figuring out who they are is key. I think I'll take toilets for 200 instead, Mr. Wright. Well, at least there are only so many people on the airship that night. We know who the mastermind of the whole cover-up plot was too, so that's good. You had a whole year to brainstorm an Easter game. Pokemon Gen 1 modded for only egg-themed Pokemon and moves. Yeah, I don't know the first thing about Pokemon modding. So you got a guide, or if you just want to chuck a ROM my way, go right ahead. You mean the groom, Soren Sprocket, right? Exactly. You might know something that could help us out. So then, what am I doing here? Ah, of course. What am I doing here? I'm a very busy man, you know. Well, all the other people involved are Soren's family members, so I thought I'd better start by interviewing you. Even if I probably shouldn't trust a word out of your mouth. Oh man, I have a really tight schedule, but heck, what are friends for, right? Okay, pal, go ahead, ask me anything. You do remember it was you who came to me for help in the first place, right? I want to go over exactly what happened before I step outside this office again. Since you were there, Larry, you think you could help me get it all straight in my head? If I gotta. Okay, the first reception was held at 7 p.m. on the day of the incident. That's the one you tried to crash, right, and gave me that great thumbnail. Huh? Oh, yeah, that's right. And then they locked me up in a cabin. It was awful, I tell you. Too bad we're not here to focus on you, Larry. Then the incident occurred after this reception after around 10 p.m. Oh my god, he's about to Markiplier punch me. Ellen was attacked in the reception hall by Gloomsbury. He forced her out of the Vista deck and was just about to kill her. Well, Ellie fought back and ended up killing old Gloomsbury instead. To cover it up, the family quickly threw together a second reception. That's what Edgy's claiming anyway. But I know my Ellie didn't do it. The key point here is the mysterious person Ellen said she saw strike Gloomsbury just before she passed out. Did you see anybody suspicious sulking around that day? Nope, not a soul. Because I was locked up in a cabin at the time! But you managed to escape and sneak back into the reception hall. That's when you switched the lantern in the event hall with the lantern in the hold, right? Did you see anybody then? No. The place was completely deserted. I guess because that Pierce Butler guy had everybody gathered together somewhere. That makes sense. Must have been going over the cover-up plan with them. So clearly, the murder had already happened by the time Larry got out. Must have gotten everything really pretty fast at the second reception soon after that. Then, after that second reception, Ellie went to clean up the reception hall. And as luck would have it, that's when she found the body of the lantern I'd brought up. I tried to do something nice for Ellie out of the goodness of my heart, and this happened. We still don't know exactly what happened during the actual murder itself. We just have to look into it, along with the identity of that mystery person. And tell me about the cabin. So, while the murder was taking place, you were locked up in a cabin. Did you see anything unusual while you were in there? In the cabin? Let's see. Well, there was that pterodactyl flying through the sky. That's pretty unusual. Alright. That drawing of that pterodactyl you saw. What's with all the air quotes? I really didn't see it! I swear! But, Larry, the time travel thing never actually happened. Which means you couldn't have seen a real pterodactyl flying through the sky. Was this, you finished The Girl from Arcania? Is that another visual novel game? Oh! Are you down in the eye of the super popular picture book author? No, I'm just sure you saw something else and mistook that for a flying reptile. Nick, you're making me doubt my own eyes! Now I'm not even sure what I saw! Larry's drawing updated in the court record. Probably mistook something for what he claims is a pterodactyl in this picture. Should I even know what he might have mistaken for a pterodactyl? Or is there still a whole lot more of this spaghetti to spill? Either way, you have no idea what actually happened in the real scene of the murder? That's right, and I can say that with every confidence. Oh, wow. Would you look at the time? I better go. I have a book signing to get to. A book signing? Whose book? What do you think? It's mine, of course. It is L'Oreitonium book signing. I bet you went around and begged a bunch of bookstores to let you do one. Of course not. They're the ones coming around to beg me. Looks like I guessed right. Anyway, I have to go. I'll send you 10 copies of my new book that just got released the other day, alright? 10? That's very generous of you. What are you talking about? I'm gonna send you the bill too, of course. You're the salt of the earth, Larry. Just put them down as office expenses or something. Well, see ya! Wait, Larry, we don't need... He's gone. Go from Arcania plays a bit like the Minish Cap, the story and setting are an identity all their own. You know, the fact Arcania makes me think of the canyon from Majora's Mask, Akana Canyon, Icana Canyon. I don't know, I called it like 5 different things during my various playthroughs back in the day. So it got me thinking of Zelda, and I guess I was onto it. I'll take a copy, boss. Oh, and make sure it's signed. Oh boy. Trucy's not gonna like this office expense. Here goes our first lead. What do you want to tackle next, Nick? Right. We should hit the streets now, huh? How about we go see Ellen? Sounds good, boss. I bet I can cheer her up. I thought you were going to help Trucy with her magic show again today, Athena. Weren't you supposed to go meet her right about now? Trucy says she was going to practice her new trick on you, if I recall. On me? Really? Trucy's show is an important source of income for our agency, you know. You can leave the case to us, so you go ahead and run along now. You're not in this story. You're getting shelved for some good old-fashioned nostalgia. But, us. Off you go, Athena. No, I don't want to die. Damn. You better get going too, Maya. Hi! Yeah, we're going to visit Ellen. Didn't I say that last stream? Did I? You did? But I seem to have missed it? Well, I can't very well read everything that goes through chat, can I? And yes, I was really looking at all of the Warframe knowledge. Because as you can tell, there was a couple of stuff that was not quite intuitive. At least to me. Oh, my poor sweet Soren. I wonder how he's getting along without me. Hello, Ellen. Oh, Mr. Wright, what's gonna happen to this trial, do you think? Well, first and foremost, you have to hurry up and find this mystery person you saw before you passed out. Do you think that person could be the real killer? It's quite possible. If we can prove that, we can clear you of all charges. Actually, would you happen to know where Soren is right now? He's usually busy with meetings all afternoon, but he should be home by evening. Look at these trucks. Look at these drawers. Aren't they pretty? Aren't they nice and smooth? I can't feel them. And then she starts crying because I can't reach through windows. Look at how proud she is. I don't know why, but this looks wholesome to me. I think I better have a chat with him later then. Why am I being treated to a view of someone's underwear? Mr. Wright, don't tell me. You suspect my sweet Soren? Well, he is the one who masterminded the second reception after the time skip, so I thought he might be able to tell us something. How could you, Mr. Wright? You can't possibly think my Soren would never kill anyone. All right, just calm down. No, not if you're accusing my Soren. Please, I'm not accusing anybody, so please put the pan and ladle down, all right? Really? Cross my heart. So for now, would you mind if I ask you a few more questions about the case? I'd better be careful not to provoke her. I wasn't even done reading that before she tidied herself up. Hi there, Stream Sams. She is proud? Well, then there you go. If she looks proud, it's because she is proud. I'm gonna go ahead and pass that along. I'm sure Moderator Tim will be happy to hear that. Could you tell me about Soren? There's nothing to tell. He's squeaky clean. Oh, right. Okay. Maybe I should avoid the topic of Soren right now. Let's talk about something else then. Fine, but you won't hear a peep out of me about Soren. Talk about pulling teeth. You tell me about Pierce Nickety then. Pierce? He came to the Sprocket Manor about a year ago. As the family butler, he's now in charge of everything in the household. Only a year ago? Do you have some kind of special connection with the family? I'm just a maid, so I'm not privy to such things, I'm afraid. And she's spitting bars, too. Might have been Soren's order, but Pierce is the one who coordinated the whole thing. He's the one who really orchestrated the grand time travel farce. He must have had quite a bit of authority in that family. But no matter how good he is at his job, how could anybody gain that much influence in a single year? I really don't know. I mean, he is an excellent butler. Wouldn't that explain it? Is it really as simple as that? What you thought was time travel was really just a cover-up carried out by your in-laws. Pierce said Soren was the one who ordered the whole thing. I still can't believe it, even if the second reception was fake. Soren would never use time travel for something like that. He's very serious about his time travel machine research, you know. There's a reason he's researching time machines, actually. Something about something he wishes he could change. Isn't the whole idea of traveling back in time itself a little fantastic? I don't think so. After all, Soren said real time travelers do exist. Really now? You think you know someone who actually traveled through time? That's right. I haven't seen it personally, but Soren said as much. So I believe it. Somebody who actually traveled through time, huh? It's pretty hard to believe. Thank you, Ellen. You're going out to do your investigation now, aren't you? Yes, that's right. Please make sure you don't cause Soren any trouble, okay? I'm afraid I can't promise you that. What? Please, whatever you do, please don't upset my poor Soren any further. I'm begging you. I'll do my best not to cause him any unnecessary trouble. Oh, I couldn't bear it if Soren ever came into suspicion. I'd rather be found guilty myself. Yikes. Ellen, please don't work yourself up like this. You don't want Soren to worry, do you? And just like that. So much easier to pull yourself together for the sake of another, isn't it? At least for certain personality types. You believe it was the butler? That's the unfortunate thing about being a butler, isn't it? It's always the butler. And the floodwaters recede once more. So, what do we do now, Nick? Well, unless Soren is usually in meetings until the evening, so let's save our house call until then. I'm gonna go to the mooring dock and figure out our next move from there. Roger, Nick! Alright, away we go. Might as well top on the new TV. So, where should we start? Let's see. Are there any places we haven't examined yet? We already investigated the reception hall and Sprocket Manor. I know. We haven't looked at the Vista deck or the hold yet. Hey, you're right. So got some pretty important places left to examine, don't we? Vista deck is actually the scene of the murder, right? And the lantern with the body in it was stored in the hold. I think there's a good chance we'll find some important clues in those locations. Do we know how to get to the hold? Good question. I think it was labeled in that diagram of the airship in this pamphlet. There it is. So the hold has a direct elevator going to the Vista? Wonder what I'll be able to do with that information. What are we waiting for? Let's go. Let me... that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for a print screen. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get the whole conversation here. Let's see. Print screen. Let's take this whole conversation. That was... I don't think that was what I wanted to do. The screenshot function in Windows 11 can be pretty particular. Fine, I'll just crop it myself. Then we'll go ahead. Calming presence. You got your typing in. Early on, too. There we go. Everyone's well-meaningness has been transferred. Now we're in the hold of Flying Chapel. So, this is the hold. This is where Pierce orchestrated the whole cover-up operation. Better go over this place with a fine-tooth comb. Hey, Nick. Weren't we supposed to need a key card to get in here? Ah, you're right. Wonder why it was unlocked. How's it going, Mr. Wright? Hey! Emma, what are you doing here? Just a little independent investigating for my own sake. Gotta keep the mind sharp. Ah, the door security system was turned off for the police investigation. We'd like to investigate the hold ourselves. Would that be alright? Yeah, sure. Police just finished their examination anyway. Thanks. We'll just take a quick look around then. Oh, right. You should know that the floor doubles as a huge lift. You can use that lever way back there to raise it up to the Vista deck. Police inspected it already, but didn't find anything of particular interest, it seems. If you do go up to the Vista deck with the lift, be careful not to fall off. Got it, thanks. That goes double for you, Maya. Yes, ma'am. Well, let's get the show on the road. Here I go examining again. I've been looking at this cake all the whole time. Ooh, it's a cake, Nick. A cake! So big, they wouldn't miss one little piece, would they? If you're that in the mood for a mouthful of styrofoam, sure, knock yourself out. You mean it's not real? Well, it sure fooled me. I'm so ready to have some of that really craving cake right now. Come on, Nick. Let's go get some. Maybe after the trial is over. Alright, these flowers that we saw the other day. These are the flowers we saw in Larry's photo. The petals make them look like little gears. The perfect flower for the Sprocket family, huh? Maybe they were going to shower the couple with the petals. I mean, kinda like how people throw rice or confetti? Yeah, like that. Only, these are found at the scene of a murder instead. Yeah, that's the only difference. Alright, we're gonna do a circuit around the room. These will need the dishes and glasses they use for receptions. Very fancy. I'd be in big trouble if we broke any of them. Ooh, I wanna see Nick. You, young lady, need to stay far, far away from them. Nick. You're gonna break them, don't you? Let's just say your rap sheet for breaking things doesn't help your case. So, this is the airship's engine. It's pretty impressive. It's all rhythmic, like a heartbeat. It's the literal heart of the flying chapel. Look at all those gears spinning around and around and around and around and around and... I think I'm starting to get dizzy. Yeah, me too. Ooh, look, Nick! It's an airplane! I wonder if Soren built that one, too. Hey, why don't we take it for a spin? Just a quick tour around the neighborhood. You know he proposes going to pilot that wooden death trap. Me, of course. Who else? Don't worry. I've seen people fly airplanes on TV plenty of times. I think I'll pass. Still got my whole life ahead of me. That's the spirit, Phoenix. I really ought to say that about myself more often. What's that? A wedding bell? According to the pamphlet, it's used on the Vista deck during wedding ceremonies to bless the newlyweds. I guess they disassemble and store it away here in the hold when it's not being used. And now for the $1 million bovines. Delicious styrofoam. So, there are 2 male peggable lanterns in the reception hall. That must mean that these 2 are female Pega-Cow lanterns. Larry got their sexes mixed up when he replaced the one in the reception hall, huh? Didn't you see the horns? The difference is pretty glaring if you ask me. Yet he managed to not notice. That's what makes Larry Larry. Chat, why are you looking at me? And Larry being Larry is why I've seen more than my fair share of trouble for a lifetime. Oh, Mr. Wright. You know that lantern the victim found inside the reception hall? I'm just about to go piece it back together so the police can examine it. Oh, okay. We'll stop by for a look too, once you're done fixing it. Alright, anything else in this place? I'm not seeing any B's or M's, so I don't think there are any other angles to go from. Nope, looks like that's about it. Anything Emma has for me? Any progress to your investigation? Nothing conclusive yet, I'm afraid. Almost everybody was involved with the cover-up. So it's hard to know who or what to believe. I know what you mean. Unless you have some compelling evidence, I'm afraid it's gonna be a tough trial for you. You're telling me there isn't much time left, so I've just gotta make do and see what I can turn up. Okay, I guess that's about all we can do here. So we're currently in the hold, so I guess the foyer is the only other place we can go. Oh, nope. Nothing going on here. You were just in the hold. Do we go back to the mooring dock? Ain't no way. Did I give up on the hold a little bit too quickly? Interesting. Guess there is a little bit more to do here. Maybe I present something to her? Alright, time to start tossing things into her face and see what sticks. Hello, Mater Katone. Solaris has the right of it. We're lovers in this household. So I give her evidence that doesn't have any bearing on anything, and she offers me snackos. Why don't you take a break with something sweet? I recommend snackos myself. Want to try some? Dang it. I don't want to try snackos. Munches sadly. Let's see. You have anything about the autopsy report? Nope, guess not. Yeah. That's, I don't think we were told to, present anything. Isn't there the, So, I'm investigating the hold. That's what I'm doing right now. And I don't think I see anything new. Oh! Okay, this good old-fashioned Ace Attorney pixel hunt right there. Oh, look. There's a lever to the lift Emma told us about. Let's try going up on it. I'll go flip the switch. Here goes nothing. Wait, I'm not even on it yet! Oh, shoot. That's actually legit creepy. I'm not gonna lie. Wow. This isn't a horror game, but that kind of jump scared me to see that streak of blood on the lift. If they ever come out with a Dead Space legal sim visual novel, damn. That comes straight out of it. Well done, team. If I remember anything about this case, it's gonna be how that made me feel. Yeah. I was wondering if me, being a little bit sensitive towards, people calling me out was me slamming down a big old no fun allowed sign, so... Don't worry, I'm building up a tolerance. Never mind that. Move over a little. Phoenix literally just shoves Maya out of the way. Just sends her splatting against the wall. Okay. Is that blood? Blood? Let me see. Could it be Mr. Gloomsbury's blood? Well, this lift goes up to the Vista deck where the murder took place, so I think that's the most logical conclusion. I thought the victim was clubbed to death. There wasn't that much blood. Something tells me I better take a picture of this. Phoenix really goes like this. Making his own evidence right there. I should ask him about it some more later. Maya, can you bring the lift back down now? You got it. I'll go flip the switch again. There. Oh, it's like I said, a long time ago. Yep. Done? I want to find out some more about that blood stain, but for now, I guess we should go up to the Vista deck and take a look around the actual crime scene for ourselves. You must be great from up there. I bet it'll be awesome. You mean it would be if it wasn't the scene of a murder. Okay, to the Vista deck we go. Make sure you actually get on the lift this time, Nick. I know. Okay, I'll just flip the switch again, and away we go. This is giving me flashbacks of the Flutter Defense boss from Mega Man Legends, and I don't know how to feel about that. Wow, look at the gorgeous view. So this is where Ellen was attacked. Mr. Bloomsbury was killed. Yeesh. One wrong step and it's kersplat on the ground below. Should we go investigate the stuff that's a little closer to the edge? Well, I don't see much of anything over there. Police investigation didn't turn up any clues either, so maybe we don't need to? Oh, I get it. You're scared, aren't you, Nick? Of course not. Come on, let's get back down and finish checking out the hold. Dagnabbit, Nick. Alright, now I guess I can move. Unless I find anything new in my pixel hunting. Oh, a candelabra! Huh? Looks like there's some fingerprints on this candelabra. Yep, I just got done dusting that. I was able to pull a set of left hand prints. You know the prints they are? Yep. The prints belong to the victim, Dumas Bloomsbury. Nick! I just figured out something amazing! You did? Get this. If the fingerprints on the candelabra were from his left hand, then Mr. Doomengloom must have been left-handed. What do you think of that? Do I have the makings of a great detective or what? You're a real silly Sally if you thought that deduction was anyway encyclopedic. Hey, you're pretty good, Maya! I looked into it myself, and sure enough, the victim really was left-handed. Really? I got it right? Awesome! Good for you, Maya. Maya and Emma really doing the, really sharing that, that Phoenix assistant brain. Speaking of, any ETA for me streaming Legends 2? Good question. No firm ETA now, but hey, if our usual method of playing Mega Man games after long games holds up, although Legends 2 is going to take a couple of streams, so that would be considered like a short form game or maybe even a mid form game. Oh, yeah, I think I already said that. Good for you. That's all you got to say. I think you did a real great job, Maya. Way to go! I Guess we can never have too much info. Now you're talking! But, come to think of it, this candelabra isn't in the photo Larry took of the hold, is it? That picture was taken when they were getting ready for the first reception, right? The candelabra must have been brought in here sometime after that, then. Still possible it has something to do with the incident, though. Better add it to the evidence file, just in case. Just in case. Oh, by the way, Mr. Wright, you can have this fingerprint powder if you like. You're giving this to us? Sure. I have 4 other sets. Thanks. I feel like there's something more to the candelabra, but I can't put my finger on it. I think fingers on the candelabra is exactly what you're trying to figure out. Alright, any more that I can pixel hunt, because that's 2 things that I missed. Okay, maybe we're done here. You already searched here. Oh, would you look at that? Phoenix called me out. Emma, can we check out this candelabra a little bit more? A little bit more? What do you... Ooh! What happened? I almost dropped the candelabra, and the candle slipped off. Well, let's be careful with that. Might be important evidence. Wait a minute. Now what? One of the pins that holds the candle is broken. What? There's definitely something fishy about this candelabra. There is. What makes you say that? Call it forensic investigator's intuition. You already dusted this for prints earlier, so let's test it with luminol this time. Knowing Emma, she'd use every test she has at the same time if she could. Just hang on. This will only take a second. I hope this turns up a new lead somehow. Lemma, did you find anything? Take a look at this, Mr. Wright. What is all that blood doing on there? Damn! That candelabra went from how do you do to nice to knife you. Maybe somebody got hurt while they were setting up for the reception? Yeah, that's usually how it goes, Emma. These pins are pretty sharp. If one of the pins is broken, it means there was some force involved. You think maybe somebody got stabbed? But nobody reported anything like that. That's quite a bit of blood. Wonder whose it is. If I have anything that might shed some light on that, I should probably show it to Emma. Shed some light on that? Got an autopsy report? Nope. Absolutely nothing. Player's drawing, photo reception, Selena Sprocket photo. Oh yeah, the photo of the hole. Nope. You have $20 on East being the next RPG. Oh yeah! Now I remember what the next short form game is gonna be. Maybe it's the photo of the victim. Hey! It's absolutely unbelievable. What kind of monster would plan to commit a murder on somebody's happiest day? I take it this means you don't have any significant new leads. No, I'm afraid not. You? I've got nothing. Wish I could be of more help. Oh, thanks anyway. Appreciate it. All I can do is keep on keeping on, right? So you're sure this is the murder weapon in this case? Positive. The shape of the victim's injuries and the shape of this clock are a perfect match. I see. I dare say that if somebody were to get knocked over the head with this thing, It's more likely to cut off their future than send them to the past. God damn! Emma with the bars. I can't disagree with you there. Alright, we're slowly starting to figure out what can actually give us some leads or new stuff. What kind of monster? Oh. Nope, we've already gone through this dialogue. Alright, so the photo of the victim, the fog machine. Anybody wants to throw something at her? Nope. Photo of the hold, autopsy report, hold entry. Nope, already asked her about this, but, unless I should just show her the candelabra again. Okay, in that case, let's go ahead and show her the picture of the blood. Emma, about this bloodstain. Doesn't something about it strike you as odd? What's so odd about the victim's blood? That's not exactly... There's just something about it that bothers me. Now that you mention it, I can't say I necessarily disagree with you. Maybe I should talk about this some more with her. Hey, we got some more stuff going on. About this bloodstain. What about it? There's something about it that's been bothering me. Oh, yeah? What's that? Well, there's a huge bloodstain on the crime scene lift, and a bloodstained candelabra. Now, this is only a guess, but I'm thinking maybe these two bloodstains are from the same source. I'm thinking maybe these two bloodstains are from the same source. I guess that is a possibility. You know what that makes me think of? That request makes me think of one time when Germa did a live stream from, like, in the middle of a desert. And people in chat kept on saying next game. And then while Germa was in the desert, he looks around him and says, next game? Yeah, I'll boot up some Yakuza. And that has lived rent-free in my head. Are you kidding? Don't underestimate the power of science. It'll be done in a jiffy. And the results are in. That didn't take long now, did it? It seems the blood from the lift and the candelabra are from the same person. Ooh, alright. Do we know whose blood it is? Well, the victim was clubbed to death. There wasn't all that much blood. But this isn't Mr. Gloomsbury's blood. Well, this is just a guess, but what if Mr. Gloomsbury stabbed somebody with a candelabra pin? That would explain both the huge blood stain on the lift and the blood in the candelabra. Oh my goodness! If that's true, that means there was somebody else present at the scene of the murder. It does, doesn't it? This just might substantiate Ellen's statement about a third person. Emma, could you have this blood analyzed? Sure thing. Mysterious blood stain on a candelabra with the victim's prints on it. This just might be the thing to back up Ellen's memory of seeing a third person. Next up, the reception hall. Maybe we're taking another look around there. Reception hall? The forensics team is in there investigating right now. Oh, they are? Well, we don't have time to just sit around. Let's go check out something else. Good, go question some people. Especially Soren. I have a few questions for that guy. Sounds good, Nick. Have to do some legwork then? Yep. Thought we did a Soren's house for starters. He was accompanying the police on their investigation here earlier, but he's probably home by now. Great. Thanks. Later, Emma. Alright, over to the foyer. Sprocket Manor, foyer. I still can't get over how gorgeous Sprocket Manor is. Just don't touch anything. I wasn't going to. She was definitely going to. I was told I had guests. Thank you for seeing us, Soren. We know you're busy. We'd like to ask you a few questions about the case, if you wouldn't mind. Soren? You're Ellen's lawyer, right? Yes, that's right. Don't tell me he doesn't remember me. Will Ellen be found guilty? We're doing everything we can to prevent that. That's why we're here investigating. Will you please tell us what you know? Soren? Alright, fine. What was that pause all about? It was you who gave the order for that large-scale cover-up plan, isn't that right? What large-scale cover-up? Don't play dumb with us. You held 2 wedding receptions in order to try and cover up Mr. Gloomsbury murder. Ellen thought that through the power of the timekeeper you built, she traveled back in time. Ah, so that's why there were 2 receptions. Wait, does he seriously not know why the reception was held twice? Looks like I have to delve deeper here. So, the cover-up scheme, that fake trip through time, you're not the one who was behind it all? Pierce Nickety stated in court that you were the one who ordered it be carried out. Pierce said that. I see. I leave him in charge of everything around me. So, whatever he decides is, in essence, my decision too. So I take it that you didn't know anything about the cover-up. That's none of your business. But you were in the wedding receptions, 2 wedding receptions in a row, and still you claim to know nothing? I have nothing more to say to you. Please leave. But Soren! Uh-oh, I'm about to get paper airplaned. Here it comes! Clunk. Oh, there's something written on this paper airplane. Let's see. Go away? It doesn't get clearer than that, huh? He's looking especially uncooperative, but maybe I can grab his attention somehow. There's still that one piece of evidence I don't know much about. It's worth a try. A piece of evidence that I don't know much about. Soren, have you ever seen this before? That's... uh-oh! My man's showing some emotion! Soren, what is it? Nothing. Why did his whole demeanor change all of a sudden? He's gone pale as a ghost, too. Soren? Look! Nick, look, his stomach! He's bleeding! My man got stabbed by that candelabra, didn't he? Somebody help! Soren's collapsed! Master Soren! Get him to the hospital! Quickly now! Poor Soren. That must be one serious wound. What is it, Nick? Well, when I showed him the candelabra, his whole demeanor changed. So I was just thinking that maybe his injury is... Huh? What's this? It's Soren's notebook. Must have dropped it in the rush to get him to the hospital. Ooh, his notebook, huh? Wonder what's written in it. Don't you? Come on, you know you want to take a peek. Soren's notebook. What to do, what to do. I see a multiple choice answer. I safety save. I feel guilty snooping as usual around in somebody's personal notebook, but maybe we should take a little look-see. Whoa. It's filled with big words written in tiny letters. Guess he used this notebook to write down his invention ideas? Huh? What is it? Did you find something? Huh. After March 8th of last year, the content of this notebook changes dramatically. Of course. That's a very transformative date in the history of our world. Like how? Well, ever since that date, Soren's been writing down every detail of his life. As in, every. Maybe he decided to start keeping a diary? But this is way too detailed to be in an ordinary diary. Huh. Either he's really compulsive, or maybe just plain forgetful. It's really as simple as that. I feel like something happened on March 8th that made Soren change. Yes, March 8th was a very important day. Well, why don't you let me take a look at that and I'll tell you. Hey, Maya, let go or rip it! Now look what you did, you dropped it. You should just let me take a look. Now is this my fault? Oh no, Nick! It fell in that pool of Soren's. That's silly. That is contrived. I can't read a thing on these 2 pages now. Uh-oh. You're gonna get it now. Ugh. Guess it really is my fault after all. That's silly. Let's just put it away carefully for now. We can't let anything else happen to it, you hear? Huh? Hey, look, there's something sticking out of the notebook. It looks like a newspaper article. Let's see. It's about the car accident Soren's sister died in. Is that the incident that caused him to change? It happened on March 8th. That's the day Soren's notebook completely changed. Oh, wow. What else does it say? It says the driver at the time of the incident was Dumas Gloomsbury. Everything is coming together. Everything is coming together. It says Soren was in the car too. He had sustained severe injuries. Just like Pierce said, Soren completely changed after the incident. So Gloomsbury was driving the car when they got into that accident. That opens up the distinct possibility of Soren holding a grudge against Gloomsbury. You think Soren could have... I don't know. It's not like I have any proof. We should talk to Pierce about this when we return to Soren's notebook to him. But he doesn't seem to be here right now. Maybe he's at the Flying Chapel. Sprocket Park, mooring dock. I sure hope Pierce is around here somewhere. Huh, Mr. Wright and Miss Fay. Hello, Pierce. We were just looking for you. I'm sorry for Master Soren's sudden departure earlier. You have my sincerest apologies. It was totally understandable, really, but shouldn't you be at his side right now? It's fine. The other servants are with him, and I am in constant contact with them. Do not forget to give him his pain medication, and be sure to keep him hydrated. Keep him hydrated. Also, see to it that he is not up and about. He needs complete bed rest. Is this what happens when you're too rich for normal peasant phones? I must return to Master Soren now, but did you want something of me? Actually, here's Soren's notebook. He dropped it when he collapsed. I hope Pierce doesn't notice the blood stain. Oh, thank you very much for this. I will see to it personally that Master Soren gets it back. Thank you. Soren's notebook given to Pierce. Something about that feels like a mistake. I trust you did not look inside. Oh, of course not! Because it is filled with numerous patent-worthy ideas, you see. Look, I know you're busy, but would you mind if I asked you a few questions about the case? Well, as I said, I must be getting back to Master Soren. So if you could make it quick, I would greatly appreciate it. Alright, I'll make this as quick as I can. I'd like to ask you about the cover-up you tried to pull off, if you don't mind. I told everything there is to tell in court already. Disposing of anything that may harm the Sprocket family's reputation is simply a part of my job. Sounds like a lovely job description. I have nothing more to say on the matter. I will say, I do not think it's wise to spend time on topics that have already been discussed. Right. Kind of funny how they symbolize the absolute putting aside of the cover-up by having it changed into a different topic altogether. Pierce, you tell us more about this accident? Where did you find that? And did I not already tell you about that accident? You did, but you conveniently left out one crucial detail. The fact that Dumas Gloomsbury was driving the car at the time. Oh? Did I not mention that? I suppose it simply did not come up then. If Mr. Gloomsbury caused the accident, why didn't the Sprocket family fire him? Wouldn't that usually be the natural consequence of such a huge mistake? Please do not misunderstand. Gloomsbury stayed on with the family. On Master Soren's request. Nani? That is the type of person Master Soren is. Perhaps it was the influence of Miss Selena's kind nature. She was such a sweet person that, even in her last moments, she thought of Master Soren. Not only did Soren not hold a grudge against Bloomsbury, he insisted on keeping him on. No, I really don't understand how that guy's mind works. So you were present for Selena Sprocket's last moments? Yes, in my professional capacity. The accident happened on the way to a certain party. And what kind of party was it? It was Miss Selena's engagement party. Bloomsbury's injuries were minor, but Miss Selena's and Master Soren's were critical. You were brought to the Sprocket Family Regular Hospital. Wow. To have such a terrible thing happen on what was supposed to be a day of celebration. Thanks to the surgeon in charge, Master Soren pulled through. But Miss Selena, she... The last words Miss Selena said to me were... Please help Soren. Ever since then, I have attended Master Soren and tried to help him in any way I can. I see. Selena's fiancé must have been devastated. Indeed. The shock of losing Miss Selena was so great, he quit being a surgeon. He was a surgeon? This is news to me. Wait, so the surgeon who tried to save them both, was he? Yes, he was Miss Selena's fiancé. What a terrible tragedy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I wonder if we're gonna meet this fiancé. How awful. So where is her fiancé now? Good question. I wonder that sometimes myself. Did he disappear around a year ago? Or a little bit later than that? When Pierce all of a sudden comes into the family as a head butler? So Selena had a fiancé. I'd like to find out more about him, but I doubt I'll find him anytime soon. He's closer than you might think, I'm guessing. So, are we done here? I'm afraid I must be going. Could you please just tell me a little more about Soren? There is nothing more to tell. I can't seem to get any real answers out of him just by asking him questions. Is there a piece of evidence I still don't know much about? Maybe you'll be able to tell me something about it. The candelabra that causes wounds to appear on people's bodies. Pierce, have you ever seen this candelabra before? No. I don't know anything about it. Uh-huh. You're hiding something, Billy Boy. Amagatama reacted. Pierce must be trying to hide something from me. I have to break those psych locks and find out what. Alright. My safety blanket save. Pierce, you're hiding something from me about this candelabra, aren't you? Not the 2-minute-long animation. If this is one of the candelabras from the Flying Chapel, is it not? Is there something special about it? Actually, yes. There's some blood on it, you see. I think the blood might belong to this person. Yeah. Master Soren. Soren has a rather nasty wound on his body, doesn't he? Yes, Master Soren is indeed injured. Are there any other people involved with this case injured? Not as far as I know. I see. Let me ask you this, Pierce. Do you suppose Soren could have been more directly involved than you're letting on? What in the world would you think that? Would make you think that? Oh, I got my reasons. Mr. Gloomsbury's fingerprints were found on this candelabra's stem. which leads me to believe that Mr. Gloomsbury stabbed Soren with it. You cannot possibly think Master Soren is the one responsible for the murder. I don't have any conclusive evidence of that at the moment, but I do think he had a motive. This proves that Soren had a motive to kill Mr. Gloomsbury.
Take that!
Even though it was an accident, Mr. Gloomsbury was the man responsible for taking Soren's sister away. Let us suppose that Gloomsbury did stab Master Soren with the candelabra. Can you prove that it had anything to do with the case? He might not have been stabbed at some other location for some other reason. Sorry, but I can prove it was related to this case. Oh, really? Soren's stabbing and Mr. Gloomsbury's death are definitely connected. Are they now? This is the piece of evidence that ties Soren's injury to Mr. Gloomsbury's murder.
Take that!
A bloodstain was found on the side of the lift that goes between the hold and Vista deck. Its blood matches the blood that's on the candelabra. I obtained the results straight from the police, so I can assure you this information is correct. This bloodstain on the lift indicates an important fact. It shows us that Soren was there during the crime. Soren's blood is on the lift, which can only mean one thing. He was there, wasn't he? Soren was at the scene of the crime. You are very astute, Mr. Wright. It appears I cannot hide this from you any longer. Very well. I will tell you everything. Unlock successful! Now tell me your secrets. Did you tell me about Soren's injury? Very well. This is what I heard directly from Master Soren himself. As you surmised, Master Soren was stabbed by Gloomsbury on the day of the murder. It happened after the first wedding reception. Not the Markiplier punch! Or maybe that's closer to All Might. Maybe even Omni-Man. The happy couple was in the reception hall when suddenly Gloomsbury appeared. He attacked Miss Ellen and tried to take her away. Master Soren went to stop him and found himself in a struggle with Gloomsbury. That is when Master Soren was stabbed with the candelabra, he said. Even though Master Soren was badly injured, he went after Gloomsbury. So Soren really was at the scene of the murder, wasn't he? Yes, that is correct. However, by the time Master Soren arrived at the scene, Gloomsbury had already been murdered. So, Pierce is saying that Soren was at the crime scene, but he didn't have anything to do with the murder itself. Even still, why did you try to keep such an important piece of information from me? I am very sorry. Master Soren's injury and Gloomsbury's murder were not directly related, so I decided not to mention it, so as to not unnecessarily complicate the investigation. Now, I am sorry, but I'm afraid I really must go now. Please excuse me. Is that directed at me? Thank you for your time. Did I really talk a lot about my sciatica? Because I had my sciatica for about a year after I started streaming. And then for whatever reason, it slowly started going away when I moved to my new place. And now it's basically gone. Now it's just a little bit of a bother. but I've never had to take painkillers ever since about like August 2003. I had it really bad for like 4 years, and all of a sudden, poof, gone. The only thing that really changed was that before I moved, I was sitting at my desk on carpet, and now I'm on hardwood. So, I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, or the fact that I boosted up my chair a little bit so that my legs got to stretch a little, but that is still so weird. It was such a big aspect that was really just brain blocking me and really putting me in a brain fog for so long, and then just all of a sudden, one little move and snap, it's gone. Peter should have just told us everything in the first place and saved us all a lot of time. Yeah, I guess it isn't all that simple for him. He is the family's butler, after all. He sure didn't make our job any easier, though, did he? At least we learned something new. Soren was at the scene of the crime. That's true. One step forward is better than none. So, what's next, Nick? Let's see. Forensics team might be done investigating the reception hall by now. Let's go check it out. Sounds like a plan. Let's do it. Me when I get you. That's our Flare the Red Fox jump scare right there. Looks like the police are done with their investigation in here. Wonder if it's okay for us to take a look around now. Well, they must be if there's a maid in the back just cleaning around. Oh, hi, Mr. Wright. Hi, Emma. Would it be alright if we investigate in this room now? Sure. Police are all done, so go for it. Oh, remember that broken lantern? I restored it to perfection. I have to say, it's some of my best work. Sounds like the repair job is a resounding success. Thanks, Emma. We'll take a good look at it, too. Nope, I have to be getting back to the station. Try not to mess up the crime scene if you can help it. Well, be careful. I'll be seeing you. Bye, Emma, and thank you. Well, shall we get started? Is this the restored bowl? The moo? Nick! What's wrong, Maya? This hasn't moved an inch since the last time we looked at it. It would be pretty creepy if it had. Look, we're in the middle of an important investigation, so try not to shout, okay? I was just hoping it changed somehow, you know, so it would be more interesting. The last thing we need is for things to get more interesting. Alright, where is... That must be the restored bowl. Well, all things considered, here's a broken lantern, all patched up. And I do mean patched. This is hilarious to me, because my brother is known in our family for being able to miraculously fix a lot of things using duct tape. And so anytime we talk about anything being broken for any reason, he always brings up nothing duct tape can't fix. And over time, now we just look at him and we go, yep, nothing duct tape can't fix. So, you see all this duct tape here is, sends my sides skyward. Emma said this was some of her best work, so I know she put a lot of work into it. Was pretty smashed up. Must have been a lot of work to piece it back together. Well, she gets an A for effort, at any rate. Huh? This wheel handle in the back has some blood on it. It looks like somebody gripped it with a bloody hand. Maybe the blood got there when the killer was putting old Doom and Gloom's body inside? I don't know. Doom and Gloom, he has blood in his own hand, very literally, so that might be his. Also, I love it when they take the pun of a person's name and they just use the pun as a in-universe. It's just like... It's the Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the Scream meme. 2 rules are, if it moves when it shouldn't, duct tape. If it shouldn't move when it should, WD-40. Sage words. Duct tape can fix everything from a leaky faucet to a fractured relationship. You think duct tape can patch up that victim? Not at this point. It's a little bit late for that. If the victim had duct tape at the time, he would have lived. But he didn't, so now we're in this mess. You see anything else worth noting? Well, there's another one of these lanterns over there, so it might be a good idea to really compare the two later. Hey, the broken lantern got a glow up. For some reason, that makes me think of a Pokemon evolution. Either the broken lantern becoming fixed up, or a regular broken lantern becoming broken, or a 3-stage evolution. The regular lantern, broken lantern, fixed lantern. Wouldn't that be something? What would you call that Pokemon? A lantern shaped like a cow that was broken and then reassembled. That's a nice thought exercise, wouldn't it? B. Alright, I guess that's it for there. Let's see. How very nice of them to mark off anything that I've already looked at. Excuse me, is the fog machine ready to use now? No, I'm afraid not. You only put dry ice in it when there's an actual reception. I see, that's too bad. She still wants to blast me with a cloud of smoke, doesn't she? Don't we all? Alright, let's see. More maid! Hey, take a look at that door. Wonder where it goes. Shall we open it up and see? Wait, please don't open that! It's the emergency escape hatch. It leads directly outside. You'll fall to your death. Oh, that was a close one, huh, Maya? I'll say. Let's see. Okay. And anything out in the front here? Oh, we can't talk to the other maid. Why not? I'm gonna talk to all the maids. Ooh, we got a shiny! There's where the murder weapon, the timekeeper was displayed. Guess it's in police custody now. What's this? A key? Let's ask the maid about it. Good idea. She might be able to tell us something. Excuse me, could I ask you a question? Oh, of course. What would you like to know? Do you know anything about this key? It's the key that starts up the timekeeper. The startup key? That's right. Oh, the first startup of Love Ceremony was so beautiful. The bride and groom each had a symbol of their love, and when they put them together, oh, how romantic it was. Key of Love. Heart-shaped key used to activate the timekeeper. The first startup of Love Ceremony. What exactly did that entail? Oh, it's a ceremony in which the couple activated the timekeeper together for the first time. I suppose it was kind of like a cake-cutting ceremony. And what are these symbols of their love you mentioned? Well, that's kind of an industry secret, so I can't really say. I'm sorry, I'd better be getting back to my work. Looks like there's an order from above not to talk about it. It's another beautiful day outside, isn't it? Yeah. If only it wasn't the scene of a murder, we could really enjoy it. True. Must be tough for the maids to have to work on a beautiful day like today. Oh, we don't mind. Whoa, I didn't think you could hear me way over there. We don't think of it as simply cleaning. It's more like we're wiping away all the sadness stuck to this airship. Wow. Talk about devoted. Hey, I think that tablecloth is new. It must have changed it since yesterday. Huh? How can you tell? Because the food stains that were there are now gone. I should have known it's because it's food related. Guess we checked out everything of interest in this area. Alright, are we gonna do some cow comparisons? Some cow-comparisons? This is the unbroken peg-a-bowl lantern. Look at their bowls. And this is the one that Emma restored. Wouldn't say they look exactly the same. More they're made up of the same parts. Wait a minute. What is it, Maya? I think there's something off about this peg-a-bowl. Just about everything about it looks off to me. Not quite sure what it is, but some detail isn't quite right. Show me the restored lantern again? Oh, the wheel is differently placed. Hey, I know, it's this, right? Well, where? The thing about the restored lantern that's off is the color of the wheel handle, the shape of the horns, the angle of the wings. Look, it's the wheel handle. It's a different color altogether. Ah, okay. It was the color. Emma got the inside and outside wheels handles switched around. Oh wow, you're right. And there's blood here on this handle. As if somebody gripped it with a bloody hand. Right. Which means that the blood got on the handle from inside the lantern. Mm-hmm. You think the blood got there when the killer was putting the body in the lantern? It's really hard to say at this point. Whew. Well, I think we checked out everything relevant to the case. What are you two doing here? Wait, what are you doing here? Soren, shouldn't you be resting in bed? You're injured. How do you know about that? Never mind. My notebook. Have you seen my notebook? I can't find it anywhere. My notebook. I need my notebook. What's the matter with him? My notebook. I have to have. Master Soren! Master Soren, I told you to stay in bed. My notebook. Here you go. Yes, this is it. So, Soren gets emotionally unstable without that notebook of his. Alright, and when is he gonna find the blood-stained page? Whew. Looks like he's calmed down now. Soren, do you mind if I talk to you for a minute? I cannot allow you to do that. What if his wounds were to open up again? He needs to rest. I guess you're right. Now, if you'll excuse us. Master Soren, let us retire. Alright. There they go. Pierce is right. Guess he really isn't in any condition to be questioned. Well, let's go back to the agency and sort through what we've learned. Home base, baby! So, does Phoenix live here, or does he have an apartment? We're back. Anybody here? Oh, hi, boss. Athena, I thought you were with Trucy. I guess you could say that I'm taking a short break. But enough about me. What about the investigation? Did you find out anything? Well, turns out the third person Ellen says she saw at the crime scene might have been Soren Sprocket. What? Really? I always thought he seemed suspicious. Thing is, by the time Soren got to the Vista deck, the murder had already occurred, apparently. No way, I don't buy that. Not for a second. It's a cover-up. A cover-up, I tell you! That's certainly a possibility. As a lawyer, it's certainly a possibility I have to pursue, but what? It's your job, right? So pursue the heck out of it! Just do it! Yeah, but is that really what's best for Ellen? Soren could be found guilty if the truth comes out tomorrow. If we don't pursue this possibility, Ellen could be found guilty instead. Oh man, either way, it sure doesn't spell out happily ever after for the two of them. So what are you gonna do, Mr. Wright? Can't let an innocent person get convicted, so I guess all I can really do is pursue the truth. Even if it ends up devastating Ellen. What a tough call to make. Still, there's always a chance, right? Maybe something will come up during the trial that will save their marriage. I hope so. I really do. Well, Maya, let's go. Break the news to Ellen, you mean? Yep. Mr. Wright, please take me with you. I bet I can help you cancel Ellen through the piece of bad news. Athena, I appreciate the offer, but don't you have somewhere else to be? Do I? Uh-oh. I knew at that pause that Trucy was gonna barge on in. Athena, what are you doing here? I've been looking all over for you. Come on now, let's get back to practicing. No, wait. My body can't take it anymore. Boss, you gotta help me. A lawyer always keeps her promises, Athena. But, boss... If you bail me one more time, Athena, I'm going to use a real blade on you. We just had a whole trial about why that would be a bad idea. You sure are playing with fire there, making that kind of joke. Sorry, Athena, but somebody's got to do it. Better you than me, though. Hang in there, kiddo. I can't believe Athena Sykes dies in the DLC case of Phoenix Wright's Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. Come on, Maya, we better get going. Yeah, you're not going to need composed for very long. Hello, Ellen. How did your investigation go, Mr. Wright? Before I answer that, I need to ask you something. Was Soren with you when Mr. Gloomsbury attacked you in the reception hall? I'm sorry I kept it from you. I was afraid that he'd come under suspicion if I told you. So I kept quiet about it. I'm really sorry. I see. I thought it was probably something like that. Listen, Ellen. I'm afraid I had to make a very difficult decision based on what I found out. What kind of decision? This is very hard for me to say, but the mysterious person you saw at the scene of the crime was most likely Soren. And there she goes. In other words, in court tomorrow, I'm afraid I'll have to propose the possibility that Soren is the true culprit. No, Soren is innocent. No! But don't you see? If I don't try to pursue that line of thought, you'll be found guilty. No, no! If there's ever an appropriate time for her to be, crying, it would be now. Please, Ellen, calm down. Sorry, just can't be found guilty. I'd much rather I be found guilty instead. Ellen, you can't let yourself think like that. But, no. Marriage is for life, right? Do you really think you can run away from the truth and still be truly happy with them? You're not married, so how can you possibly understand? Sometimes he's gonna do whatever it takes to make things work. But, Nick, you talk to her. Hey, don't just dump all this on me. Mr. Wright, I'm innocent, and Soren is too. So please, prove our innocence in court. I'll certainly do everything in my power. Let's hope she doesn't lose control like this in court tomorrow. I'd be asking a bit much. I guess whatever she's cooking could just use a whole heap and pile of salt. To be continued. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're in the endgame now. Oh, I accidentally... I mashed the escape button. I'm a silly pony. Here we go! So, the one thing we found out yesterday is that Soren was there at the crime scene. We hope we can get some testimony from him that'll get to the heart of the matter. Mr. Wright. Good morning, Ellen. Look, I'm afraid you might not like the result of today's trial. Nevertheless, don't tell me you're still thinking of going that route. Soren is innocent. He can't be found guilty. Take me instead. Ellen, please, try and get a hold of yourself. Gotta love the sheer effort she goes through. I believe in Soren with all my heart. So how dare you mock him? It's all part of due process, baby. Regardless of which one of them is found guilty today, it's going to be devastating for Ellen, isn't it? I don't know. There might be another option. We'll just have to do everything we can. That's the best we can do, you know? The trial's about to begin, Mr. Wright. Alright, let's go, Maya. Yeah. Here we go. It's the final countdown. Court test now in session. All rise. Court is back in session for the trial of Ellen Wyatt. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Let's see now. Where were we? In yesterday's session, we found out about the Sprocket family's conspiracy to cover up the murder of Dumas Gloomsbury with a second reception. Taking advantage of our collective shock, the defense, as usual, made a nonsensical claim, namely, that there was a third person present who struck the victim.
Objection!
Hey, don't try to make it sound like I made it all up. The defendant herself made a statement about the existence of a third person, and further investigation has only proven her statement to be true. Then I presume the defense intends to focus on proving the identity of this third person. Is that all right with you, Mr. Edgeworth? Indeed, Your Honor. In fact, I predicted that the defense will most likely attempt to name Mr. Soren Sprocket as the true culprit. How did you... The driver during the accident that killed Mr. Sprocket's sister was the victim. Therefore, Mr. Sprocket had a motive to murder Mr. Gloomsbury. That's what you plan to assert, is it not, Mr. Wright? Am I that transparent? Come now, Mr. Wright. Did you really think that the police wouldn't uncover this information? Congrats on getting it in one, Mr. Edgeworth. But you're wrong. Soren didn't do it. He's innocent. Miss Wyatt, please. He's innocent, I tell you. What is this, Mr. Wright? I thought your claim about the existence of a third person came from the defendant. It did. This is just a minor hiccup. Did you not discuss your strategy for today with the defendant, Mr. Wright? Starting off on the wrong foot again is seriously cutting into my lifespan. It would appear the defense is in disarray. Therefore, the best way to clear things up is to ask Mr. Sprocket himself what happened. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call Soren Sprocket to the stand. What? Very well. Bailiff, please bring Mr. Sprocket to the witness stand. Alright, we're getting into the nitties and the gritties and the thick of it. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Uh-oh. Is Soren about to give some attitude to the long arm of the law? Get down, Judge. That's a very sharp paper airplane. Ow! There's something written on this paper airplane. Let's see. Soren Sprocket, Managing Director of Sprocket Aviation. Mr. Sprocket, please give your answers in words, not paper airplanes. Now then, Mr. Sprocket, please tell the doubting lawyer there what really happened at the time of the crime. Well, Mr. Sprocket? Nobody is safe. Mr. Sprocket! Alright. The first damaged animation we get of Edgeworth, and it's from Soren being difficult. You want me to talk about what happened when the crime occurred? In other words, after the first wedding reception, when Ellen and I were in the reception hall, right? Not even the power of the court can stop him from marching to the beat of his own drum. A decade later, and Edgeworth still can't get his witnesses to state their names and occupations. Yep. That's the problem when he tries to take on Phoenix Wright. He also inherits a little bit of that zaniness onto his own person. I was stabbed by Dumas in the reception hall, and I collapsed to the floor. Next thing I saw was Ellen and Dumas on the Vista deck. I knew Ellen was in danger, so I headed for the Vista deck. But when I got there, Dumas was already... I don't want to believe it, but it must have been Ellen. Nothing else makes sense. Wait just a minute here. You actually think Miss Wyatt killed the victim? That's right. Dumas was killed by Ellen. This is unbelievable. How can you suspect your bride, the woman you love?
Objection!
I swear, Edgeworth's voice is a little bassier than I remember it from the original trilogy. The truth can't be cruel. Miss Wyatt, you must be very upset. Is there anything you wish to say? Oh, wow. it's one thing for her to be sad about something, but everything else was just kind of her overreacting for comedic effect. But for her to feel a sense of betrayal from the one person that she loved and trusted most in the world, she said she would rather she be convicted, but it's another thing in action for the one to be the decider of that to be Soren. Good lord, this is. I'm feeling a little something right in here, secondhand. No, I can't believe this. Soren, I thought that at least you would believe in me. The best way now to show your love for your groom is to admit your guilt and try to atone. Soren.
Hold it!
Mr. Edgeworth, I haven't even cross-examined the witness yet. And quit picking on the clearly distraught. That was kind of dickish of Edgeworth, I am not gonna lie. Yeah, that's so not cool, Mr. Edgeworth. So not cool. Couldn't have put it better myself, Maya. A court is where we seek the truth, and the truth is unyielding, even to the truly pitiful. Mr. Edgeworth, I find it distasteful to make a lady cry. It too, Your Honor. Deserved. If Taka were in that courtroom, he'd be pecking at Edgeworth right now. That's so not cool, baby. So, what are you gonna do, Nick? If the third person Ellen saw on the Vista deck was Soren, then we have to prove Soren was there at the time of the murder. I don't see any obvious inconsistencies in his testimony, but we have to push forward. You love it when the judge is a backbone, especially when the backbone favors the defense. 100%. Because the prosecution just plays all of these verbal smoke screens, so when they overstep their boundaries, then... I mean, usually, I can admire the prosecution for playing the judge like a fiddle so efficiently, but what Edgeworth pulled there... Nah, that wasn't it, Chief. Usually, my pants just go into the next room whenever Edgeworth acts like a complete heel, but that was one time when I would say that a little bit of Edgeworth's rust was showing. That, he might have defaulted to a little bit of the Von Karma playbook, if you know what I'm saying. Shame on you, Edgy. What Soren remembers. He who has stabbed my Dumas in the reception hall when you collapsed to the floor. Please tell me everything you can about when you got stabbed. After the reception, Ellen and I were enjoying a moment alone in the reception hall. Then Dumas appeared and stabbed me. He grabbed Ellen and the timekeeper and left the reception hall. Did Mr. Gloomsbury say anything at that time? I don't remember. After I was stabbed, I was immobilized by the pain. I grabbed Ellen and the timekeeper. So he grabbed the timekeeper and left the reception hall. I don't think I remember hearing that one. I see. I wonder if the timekeeper has more to do with this than being the murder weapon, the alleged murder weapon. Next thing you saw was Ellen and Dumas on the Vista deck. Vista deck, huh? But it was nighttime then. Could you really see them in the darkness? the moon was out, so I could see them clearly. From the looks of it, Dumas was trying to push Ellen and the timekeeper off the side. So, you sold the defendant, about to be thrown off the airship, you say? That's right. In such a desperate situation, it would only be natural for her to fight for her life. And the murder weapon was right there, within her grasp. But was it within her grasp? I thought he was holding on to it. This isn't going well at all. Gotta do something fast. I knew Ellen was in danger, so I headed for the beastly deck. I understand that your bride was in danger, but were you really able to move with a stab wound to the gut? I was desperately trying to push the pain out of my mind. I see. So adrenaline kicked in and gave you strength, is that right? I don't see much of anything in this statement I can refute. That's right. I almost passed out several times as I made my way to the Vista deck. But when I got there, Dumas was already up.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely sure, Mr. Sprocket, that by the time you got to the Vista deck, the murder had already been committed? Yes. But the Vista deck is just on the other side of the glass windows in the reception hall. Shouldn't you have been able to get there right away? Not with a stab wound. Mr. Wright, have you investigated nothing? Oh, right, you have to go down and then back up. There's no door from the hall to the Vista deck? It really looks like that should have been the case. The only way to the Vista deck is to go to the hold and take the lift. Plenty of time for a third party to do the deed. No matter how much one hurries, it would take at least 10 minutes. Well, that's unhelpful. Sort of have gotten there before the murder. My claim won't stand. You have any ideas for Maya? Definitely easier to prove that someone did go to the hold than not. I mean, you can't leave anything if you don't go someplace, right? Can't leave anything? Wait a minute. I think Maya's onto something here. Lack of a certain something actually proves that Soren didn't go to the hold. What's the matter? Are you stumped already? No, I'm far from stumped, Mr. Edgeworth. I know for a fact that Mr. Sprocket didn't go to the hold. You and your paper-thin bluffs. Mr. Sprocket's bloodstain on the lift proves he went through the hold. So what possible proof could you have that he did not, in fact, go through there? You want proof? You got it. You can do this, Phoenix. There's gotta be proof that Soren didn't go through the hold. Well, Mr. Wright, this proves that Mr. Sprocket didn't go through the hold. This proves that Mr. Sprocket didn't go through the hold. There was something missing from the hold. Was he talking about the candelabra not being there? Nope. That was a weak connection anyway. Alright, what proves that he didn't go through the hold? So he was stabbed before things happened. But what proves that he didn't go through the hold? What should... Wasn't thinking about that angle of attack. Special third party in the Vista deck when she was attacked by Gloomsbury. That doesn't... No, was behind. She fainted immediately afterwards. Didn't know whoever it was. There's a bloodstain on the inside wheel handle, as if somebody gripped it with a bloody hand. Bloomsbury's note. Grab Ellen when convenient, then send her off from the Vista deck. That doesn't say anything. Let's see. Photo from the victim. And let me see. So we've got So the flowers were there. What proves he wasn't at the deck? He didn't go through the hold, at the very least. Autopsy report wouldn't do anything. Hold entry record. Oh. There you go. Soren's card never activated. See, that's what happens when I give all of the evidence a fair shake. As anyone can see from the hold entry record, there's absolutely no mention of Soren Sprocket entering the hold. Huh? The defense asserts that Mr. Sprocket used a different route to get to the Vista deck. You can assert all you want, Mr. Wright, but can you actually prove another route exists? Can I prove the existence of another route to the Vista deck, you ask? Ah! I saw that. If you see a yes and a no, the answer is usually yes, but not yet implies that we still have a ways to go before we can reach that. Well, now that I really think about it, I guess it's gonna be hard to prove, but I can't back down now. The trial will be over if I do. Only one thing I can do at a time like this. I can prove it! Even if it's just a bluff, I have to present something. Anything that could prove the existence of a faster route to the Vista deck. Okay, then. Very well, then, Mr. Wright. Show us how Mr. Sprocket got to the Vista deck. Mr. Sprocket made for the Vista deck through here. All I can think of is that one door that leads to the outside.
Take that!
And that's it. What, did he do an action hero sidle along the side of the chapel? To save his bride from danger, Mr. Sprocket opened the escape hatch and made his way along the outside wall to the Vista deck. Is this reality, or is this just a reenactment of what Phoenix is proposing? Isn't that right, Mr. Sprocket? That would certainly be a much faster route to the Vista deck. Oh boy. I'm disappointed, Mr. Wright. Is that really the best you could muster? That escape hatch is not meant to be used to get from the reception hall to the Vista deck. One slip, and that's all that it would take for Mr. Sprocket to plunge to his death. I have to agree. The defense's claim is really stretching it. I understand how it sounds, Your Honor. But at this point, it's too early to definitively say that he didn't go that way. So that's what you're going with then, I take it? Of course, Your Honor. This is real life, Mr. Wright, not some cinematic drivel or comic book. Do you have some sort of logical explanation to share that would convince us of your claim? I do. Are you sure, Nick? Kind of. Actually, I have nothing, so I'll just have to wing it somehow. On what do you base your theory that Mr. Sprocket made his way along the outside? My theory that he was able to go along the outside wall despite the danger is based on the power of authority, the power of money. Here we go again. The Colin's CO. Then again, Colin's Super CO power is pretty busted. If anybody had access to that, anybody could do anything. But it's the power of love. That's the one that makes sense. To save the bride he loves, The groom risked his life and rushed to her side. Mr. Sprocket was able to make it to the Vista deck despite the danger because of the power of love. For Phoenix, of all people, be saying this. The power of love? Love is a source of strength that can help one overcome every obstacle. I think I can relate, thanks to my own long, happy marriage. Wow, he actually seems to be buying it.
Objection!
The power of love, you say? That kind of illogical argument is hardly viable in the court of law. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? Uh-oh. I'm afraid not, Mr. Edgeworth. You should never underestimate the power of love. You'll understand one day when you get married, which I won't. Edgeworth really burned himself just to be contrary to what the judge was saying. Exactly what is so wrong with wishing to remain unwed? Way to set him off, Your Honor. Never mind all this unscientific nonsense. Are you aware, Mr. Wright, that at the time of the crime, there was a huge propeller turning at full speed between the hatch and the Vista deck? You could have led with this, Edgeworth. Even if a person were to go outside through the hatch, they'd be blown away in an instant. Ah! Where does your power of love get you now, Mr. Wright? Clearly, he initiated his Nathan Drake mode. A huge spinning propeller, you say? In that case, I have to admit, it does seem impossible. I should have known. Nick, you can't make that kind of face in front of your client. Worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Right? Right. I feel like I just saw Mia looking out at me through Maya's eyes. Man, why can't we get some 3D Mia? That would just be chicken soup for the Ace Attorney heart. What's wrong, Nick? Why are you gaping at me like a giant sunfish? Thank you, Maya. You just helped me remember something really important. There it is! Here's that fearless smile I was looking for. Now, give us a mind-blowing theory, just like you always do. I have to turn my thinking around. Instead of wondering how Soren could have moved past that huge propeller, I have to think about what would have made it possible for him to do so. Your Honor, Mr. Wright only makes that ridiculous face when his back is pressed against the wall. Therefore, please do give your ruling before... Mr. Edgeworth, every single time I bluff, it ends up being a true bluff. Why does nobody pick up on this? It's still far too early to discount my theory. What are you talking about? The airship's large spinning propellers have already shredded it to pieces. But if we think a little bit more outside the box, I'm sure we can find a way he could have made it. Stop trying to stall, Mr. Wright, and show us how it could have been even at remotely possible, if at all. I must agree with Mr. Edgeworth. Very well, Your Honor. There must have been a way, some way that Soren could have moved along the wall in spite of the propeller. Now then, Mr. Wright, what specifically would have made it possible? This is how it would have been possible for Mr. Sprocket to get to the Vista deck. You got to the deck some other way? No. Propellers were broken? No. The airship wasn't flying. That's what I was thinking. What allowed Mr. Sprocket to go along the outside wall in spite of the propellers? Is the location of the flying chapel at the time of the crime. The location of the flying chapel? But was it flying high in the sky? No, Your Honor. I'm afraid it wasn't. What? Then where was it? At the time of the murder, the airship wasn't flying through the sky, but moored to the ground. What? Nonny? And if the airship wasn't flying, then that means the propellers weren't turning. You know what I just realized? When he's clicking his pen like that, he's popping out the lead from it. It's obviously a mechanical pencil, and he is wasting so much lead. Do you know how much that costs these days? I mean, literally everything is getting bumped up in price these days. I'm just gonna stand in here, see you keep on losing money on all that lead you keep popping out of that pencil. In which case, Mr. Sprocket could have gotten to the Vista deck along the outside wall. Isn't that right, Mr. Sprocket? Am I saying Vista wrong? Should I be saying Vista? Because I see the word Vista, and I think of Vista from One Piece. You know, the actual strongest swordsman in the world. Vista posting. Oh, wow. Oh. He gave himself a little boo-boo by clicking on the wrong side of the pen. You see that? The pen is upside down right now, so he gave himself a little Uchi. You always pronounce it with a soft I, so Vista. From the looks of it, he has an infinite supply, so that doesn't seem to be a problem. That'd be quite a superpower, huh? The ability to instantly refill the lead in any mechanical pencil you're holding. He doesn't remember. Do you not remember? Or is there something you're not admitting to? And if he's not admitting to something, what could he possibly be not admitting to? He stabbed himself with his pencil. That's gonna leave a mark. Even if the propellers weren't turning, it would have been far too risky to go that way. Ah, but Mr. Edgeworth, you're forgetting about the power of love. You don't understand. You don't understand the power of love. I saw someone make that joke in chat. Who said that? Blair Red Fox. There you go. Yes, the amazing power of love. Not this again. Very well. For the sake of argument, let's assume this so-called power of love made it possible for Mr. Sprocket to move along the outside wall of the airship. Can you prove that the airship was tied to the ground as you claim, Mr. Wright? Well, I don't have any evidence that proves where the airship was at the time. You can prove it, can't you? Maya, can you think of anything we can use to prove it? Can't say I can. Oh, wait. Didn't somebody see something outside a window at the time of the crime? I think I remember someone saying something as much. Do I have a piece of evidence that shows what was outside the airship? Ladies and gentlemen, are you smelling that? Well, what are you waiting for? This piece of evidence shows what was outside the airship at the time of the crime. It was a kite! This piece of evidence shows what was outside the airship at the time of the murder. What kind of lousy drawing is that? It's a drawing made by Larry Butz. And what can you prove of that poor attempt at artistry? Larry made this drawing before he switched the lanterns, so it must have been right around when the murder was being committed. Now, if I could direct the court's attention here... Is that a pterodactyl? Does that mean that the airship actually went back in time to the Cretaceous period?
Objection.
Did I say Cretaceous? What is the word? Cretaceous. The Cretaceous period would be the operating hours of the Krusty Krab, I suppose. We've already proven that time travel is nothing more than a gimmick, did we not? We did. I have no intention of bringing up that argument again, but this drawing shows us an important piece of information. It shows us that the airship was actually moored on the ground. And what makes you so sure? That's easy. All you have to do is consider who made this drawing. That smile. I'll start with that damn smile. Larry. That's right. It was Mr. Butz. And you both know what he's like. You must have seen something else and mistaken it for a pterodactyl. I can't argue with you there. Hey! Why just one goddamn second here? Oh, wow, Well, I made Larry go PG-13. What kind of moron do you guys take me for? Doggone, by the way. I saw it with my own eyes! A pterodactyl flew right by the window, I tell you! I have the sharp eyes of an artist! Don't you believe me? No. Heck! Nope. Some friends you guys are! What about the judge? You believe me, right? Your Honor? Sudden onset of buffering? Nope, nothing happening here. OBS usually tells me when I'm starting to drop frames, and I got my stream status up, so that's a I'm sorry, but I'm afraid you need to leave this courtroom. Bailiff, if you would. Come on, buddy, let's go. Why doesn't anybody believe me? Don't take it personal, Larry. I know you're just being, well, you. Now then, you're saying that's what Mr. Butz really saw? There's some relation to what was outside the airship at the time of the murder? Yes, Your Honor. At least, I think it does. What this pterodactyl really is will prove the airship was anchored at the mooring dock. Better anyway. If it doesn't, my whole argument is a bust. If you're that confident about it, then please go ahead and tell us what it really was. Yes, Your Honor. Think, Phoenix. Where that pterodactyl have actually been? Alright, what was it that Larry mistook for a pterodactyl? It had to have been a kite. So, were there any kites? They were flying kites, right? Oh, the sign! The sign! It's not a kite. Yeah, you see the sign over here?
Take that!
Please take a good look at this sign. At the sign, there were heavy winds that broke the sign, and it flew the sign up to the window. Okay, things are making a whole lot more sense now. Man, that was in front of our faces the entire time, wasn't it? The sign is looking awfully pterodactyl-y if you squint. I didn't even need to squint, it's just right there in front of us. It appears to be broken, and then repaired. But what does this sign have to do with the pterodactyl? Please focus on this part of the sign. The part that broke off and got reattached? What about it? How about if we turn it like this? Oh! That's the shape! It's the pterodactyl in the drawing! What Mr. Butz actually saw was this chunk as it was being blown through the air by the wind. Nonny! On the day of the murder, there were some heavy winds in the area of the mooring dock. It's hard to imagine that this sign would make it up as high as the airship would fly. That means the flying chapel must have been anchored at the mooring dock that night. Isn't that right, Mr. Sprocket? That's more than enough of this power of love nonsense, you pop culture junkie. Present all the proof you want, but your argument is based far too much in conjecture. Why don't we return to reality now? What do you mean too much conjecture? Even if the airship wasn't flying, that alone doesn't prove the witness went along the wall. True, even now it's no more than a possibility. Now do you propose Mr. Sprocket got to the Vista deck, Mr. Edgeworth? I noticed something as I went over the evidence. Please take a look at this hold entry and record. What about it? I don't see Mr. Sprocket listed on here anywhere. Don't you remember? Yesterday's session, we had a very similar kind of argument. Did we? Honestly, Mr. Wright, are you going senile already? I'm in that conversation and I don't like it. We talked about Larry Butz using the defendant's keycard to enter the hold. Oh, we did talk about that, didn't we? In other words, even if a person's name isn't on the entry record, it's still possible for that person to have entered by using someone else's keycard. Ah! Mr. Sprocket, you entered the hold with Mr. Nickety, didn't you? I did. What? Why didn't you tell us that in the first place? Pierce is indispensable. I didn't want to mention him unnecessarily and risk having him wrongly accused. I couldn't do without him. Mr. Sprocket, I ask that you testify in greater detail about your movements that night. So we're really just dropping the whole, moving around the outside thing, huh? The truth is, I went to the Vista deck with Pierce. That's why my name doesn't appear in the hold entry record. I was badly injured from being stabbed, but I was frantic. By the time we reached the scene, it was all over. Well, this doesn't help me one bit. Mr. Sprocket, you've concealed information from us time and time again. Who do you think you are, treating this court of law with such irreverence? That being said, I do appreciate the testimony you gave just now. Thanks to you, we now know why your name doesn't appear in the entry record. Now there are no more inconsistencies in the witness's testimony. That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. He never leaves a loose end dangling. I love how in most cases people take Phoenix and they take down his wild goose chase with some piece of new evidence, but Edgeworth just says nah and brings up his own facts and logic. I remember seeing a Reddit thread earlier today where the people say that everybody in the series has some kind, like every protagonist has some kind of magical or fantastical ability, but Edgeworth just has facts and logic. And to be honest, that makes him a badass normal, and I like myself some badass normals. Anyway. You okay, Nick? I wouldn't exactly call this situation okay. Somehow have to coax the information we need for an opening out of him. If I even can, that is. The truth. Alright. You went to the Vista deck with Pierce. You didn't mention this because you didn't want Mr. Nickety to fall under suspicion. Is that because he has something to hide? I just didn't want the police to take up his time with all their questions, that's all. Neither the company nor the household will function smoothly without him. I see. Wow. Sounds like Pierce is absolutely indispensable for the Sprockets. Anyway, getting back to your statement. When did you meet up with Mr. Nickety? We met on my way to the Vista deck. I think Pierce and some of my relatives were on another floor. But Pierce heard the commotion and came running to my side. You could hear the pandemonium all the way from another floor. Mr. Wright, would you like to cut a statement into the witness's testimony? Always. Yes, please, Your Honor. Very well. Pierce heard the commotion, and he came running. Okay. Wonder what we're gonna find out from this one. Did Mr. Nickety come alone? I believe some of his subordinates were with him, but I don't remember exactly how many. You may say there were others, but seeing how they pulled that second reception off, I can't completely trust anything he has to say either. I see. So you, Mr. Nickety, and a few others headed to the Vista deck. Is that right? That's right. I feel like I have to present on this one. Pierce heard the commotion, and he came running. He was on another floor, but, how could he hear it if he was on another floor? Yeah, how could he hear it if he was on another floor? I have a feeling that I'll be presenting this prematurely, as I usually do.
Objection!
Yep. I might need more information before I can refute this. Alright, let's keep pressing. Your name doesn't appear on the hold entry record, because you entered with Mr. Nickety using his key card. That's right. So I guess the hold entry record doesn't matter as much as we thought. Now that Soren saying you was with Pierce and a few others, pretty tough to refute that statement. What's the matter, Mr. Wright? Cat got your tongue? The whole entry record doesn't matter as much as you thought. Soren saying use a piercing if it's hard to refute that statement. Cat's got your tongue. Once again, press everything unless it's turned out big top. There was a case where pressing got you penalized, wasn't it? And that was big top. Oh yeah, that's when you were pressing the boss lady, and she got so intolerant of you that she gave you penalties just for pressing. That seemed like a bit of a leap in logic. Oh, Mo the Clown? Oh, right. No. That's not what I was talking about. There certainly are a lot of entertainment-based cases, aren't there? Did you finally realize there's no point in continuing this trial any longer? Of course not! I don't like the smug look off your face. Mr. Sprocket, please continue with your testimony. You're badly injured from being stabbed, but you were frantic. Speaking of your injury, how are you doing now? The knife wound was deep and continues to throb with pain. Fortunately, my internal organs were spared. All of them?! I have to say it every single time. And, so I hear. That's also a funny line that could be applied to Resident Evil 9. Who disturbs my slumber? I see. Anytime someone talks about internal organs, you gotta say, all of them! But one wrong move would have spelled the end for me there. Even so, I've seen you up and about all over the place since the incident. I'm only following my doctor's orders to perform some daily light exercises. Mr. Wright, would you like Mr. Sprocket's statement about his condition added to the testimony? Not that it appears especially relevant to me. Should I have him added to the testimony? Yes! Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to have it added to his testimony. I see. Very well. And we're up to 6 statements now.
Hold it!
Your injury was really that deep. Luckily, it missed my internal organs. Otherwise, I wouldn't be alive right now. Oh, I get what's going on. Because the part that was used to stab, that was the shallow one. According to his doctor, his injury will take about 3 weeks to heal. There's no way someone with that kind of injury could have gone along the outside wall. They might have been able to with the burst of adrenaline brought on by the pain. Adrenaline. Is that your answer for everything? In a court of law, the only thing that matters is evidence, not rampant speculation. At least admit it's scientific rampant speculation. May I continue? Yes, of course. By the time you reached the scene, it was all over, baby. So, you still insist that you reached the Vista deck after the murder had occurred? Is that correct? Yes, that's right. Ellen must have killed him. There's no other explanation. I guess whether Pierce was the Soren or not doesn't change the outcome. I guess not. In fact, more witnesses actually makes it worse for us. It's another cover-up, huh? That Soren has too many secrets. I bet he's still hiding other things, too. That's definitely a possibility. In a situation like this, what we have to do is go back to basics. You mean, go over the testimony and check for any lies or inconsistencies? You got it. Alright, Nick, let's go for it. Alright, so, you were badly injured from being stabbed. The the knife wound is quite deep. Oh, he has revealed that it's a knife wound. In that case, what's the deal with the candelabra? Mr. Sprocket, you just said your injury is a knife wound, didn't you? But the weapon you were stabbed with was this candelabra. A fact I know you are quite aware of. Very well. This is what I heard directly from Master Soren himself. As you surmise, Master Soren was stabbed by Gloomsbury on the day of the murder. It happened after the first wedding reception. The happy couple was in the reception hall when suddenly Gloomsbury appeared. He attacked Ms. Ellen and tried to take her away. Master Soren went to stop him and found himself in a struggle with Gloomsbury. That is when Master Soren was stabbed with the candelabra, he said.
Objection!
It must have been a simple memory slip that made him misspeak. It happens to everyone. It has nothing to do with the case. You must be pretty desperate to point out something so minute. I have to agree, Miss Wright. You hardly need to make such a big deal over such a small mistake. But I contend that it's an important inconsistency. Besides, I couldn't find anything else. It's the only thing I have to go after. And I say it's not important. Now let's not waste any more time on this matter. I agree. Everybody has a little memory lapse every now and then. But, Your Honor, please let me explain. But can you? Can you really explain this to the court, what makes this slip-up so important? Yes, I can, Your Honor. After all, it was Soren himself who told Pierce he had been stabbed by the candelabra. It is more than a simple memory slip. There has to be some kind of reason for it. Well, Mr. Wright, please explain why the witness's slip of the tongue is so important. The point to focus on here is why the witness would mistake the weapon used to stab him. Think carefully, Phoenix. This could very well change the course of the trial. I see. So, why did the witness make that mistake, Mr. Wright? Mr. Sprocket identified the wrong weapon used against him because he misspoke, he has no memory of it, he is covering for someone. Everybody's always covering for somebody, isn't that what's going on here? It is not what's going on here. It was like the last 4 times we got the opportunity to bust somebody for covering up. That's been it. So he has no memory of it. He doesn't remember the incident, let alone the weapon used against him. Not only that, but I believe Mr. Sprocket has some sort of memory disorder. That's why he's writing down every little detail of his life. Therefore, the defense contends that Mr. Sprocket's testimony thus far is invalid.
Objection!
Just because you can't find a flaw in his testimony, you want to throw it all out? Your baseless claim is nothing but pure slander of the witness's character. Mr. Edgeworth is correct, Mr. Wright. Can you explain your grounds for making this claim? Of course, Your Honor. Think of what Soren has said, how he's behaved, and that's where I'll find a clue. He has a notebook that he writes everything down all the time, every day, yep. Very well, that's the argument, then. My grounds for claiming that Mr. Sprocket has memory disorder is his notebook. The notebook he always has with him. I saw daily events and information about the people around him recorded in it. Like a diary, perhaps? No, Your Honor. It's much too detailed to be an ordinary diary. It's more on the order of a database, actually. A database, you say? Well, this is a familiar setup, isn't it? The factors are a little bit rearranged, but someone is writing down a whole lot of details that they otherwise can't retain. That's right. For some reason, Mr. Sprocket is apparently unable to retain memories. That's why he writes every little detail of his life down in his notebook.
Objection!
How could you possibly know that for sure? He might just be an extremely compulsive person. I thought so too myself, at first. To be honest, we accidentally got a stain on that notebook yesterday. You mean you got a stain on it? Hey, you're the one who tried to grab it out of my...
Objection!
Never mind whose fault it was, just get to the point already. Right, sorry. Mr. Sprocket. The page Miss Faye got a stain on yesterday, that's the page with the details of your stabbing on it, isn't it? No. I only write in this notebook because I'm very compulsive. Now, drop the subject already. Sorry, I'm not convinced. I noticed an odd fact about your notebook, Mr. Sprocket. On the earlier pages, you used it to write down invention ideas. But after a certain date, you started writing down a lot more and in much more detail. I believe your memory disorder stems from what happened on that date. Something so monumental, it caused a memory disorder, Mr. Wright. You don't know what you're talking about? Sorry, but I do know what I'm talking about, and this is the proof. This is the thing that caused Mr. Sprocket's memory disorder.
Take that!
Painful as it is. You were involved in this car accident too, weren't you, Mr. Sprocket? And the shock of losing your beloved older sister is what caused you to develop your memory disorder. Is this true, Mr. Sprocket? Well, is it? Mr. Sprocket! It's true. That accident did something to my mind. What? Ever since that day, every time I go to sleep, I lose my memories. And when I wake up, the most recent thing I can remember is the day I lost my sister. Oh no. Can you imagine? Every single morning, you wake up having fresh memories of the worst day of your life? They say that time heals all wounds, but for this man, that does not exist. He goes through that pain fresh every single morning. That is messed up. Like, not in a way, not in sort of the, not in any way that's against the story, just, it's a real thing that happens, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. So, and then you read this book, and then you realize that you've been living an entire life after that? I can imagine that would make Soren incredibly bitter. that all of this time has passed, yet that pain is fresh in his mind. And everything that happened after that, oh my god, everything he feels for his fiancée, he loses it every single day. That must be why he doesn't feel as, why he doesn't seem to have any feelings for her. He can probably recognize the fact that she is engaged, that he is engaged to her, but that love, that spark, that meeting that they had, it's lost, fittingly enough, to time. Okay, with one line, they turned this entire case on its head and revealed the entire emotional core. Wow, 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 wow. Just, bravo, Ace Attorney writers. He's basically eternally stuck on that day. Yep. He literally cannot move on from that day. They should give this dude a spin-off. That's a very interesting concept. I suppose so. I'm sure someone can make do with it. Manually writing down every new memory you make to is pretty crazy into itself as well. That's the sad part, is that they're not even memories. At least not to Soren. You have to relearn an entire life that you have not lived, effectively. Alright, let's keep this moving. Let's try and get to that happy ending. I hope there's a happy ending. I mean, just for this case in general. You thought this case would be ho-hum after Tournament Revolution, but no, they still made this case emotionally gripping. Absolutely, 100%. I thought this would be some kind of cooldown, some kind of filler, but nah. It just got real. It's as if I'm constantly going back in time. And there it is. There is our connection to the theme of the case. We think of time travel, kind of, as this romantic, fantastical thing. You know, scientific and full of wonder and opportunity. But for Soren, time travel is just cruel, a tormentor of sorts, if you will. A very basic aspect of the human condition denied. What? That's truly tragic. An inconsolable time traveler who goes back in time whenever he goes to sleep. Besides, time travelers do exist, you know. They're really recontextualizing every single line in this case. They really just told us, hey, the main story might be over, but we're just going to prove that we've still got it, even if this is completely unrelated to the story we've been weaving in the entire past 5 chapters. It kind of makes me wonder if they could do something like, well, this actually sounds like an existing model, like release like little mini episodes. Like if they can't make an Ace Attorney game now, just create little mini release like an episodic Ace Attorney game. And I know it will never happen, but if they could just release it for cheap, every single episode, and then eventually compile that into an anthology, just basically, I don't know, this is just blowing my mind and really teaching me all over again the type of things that games are capable of, that, non-interactive media you just don't see very often. So Ellen didn't physically time travel. Soren does emotionally time travel with no control. They're instead recordings. Dropping all suspicions he had on Soren, indeed. It is a real condition, yes. The brain is a weird and complex thing. Yep. I remember people saying that brains are more similar to computers than we care to admit. So, I mean, obviously not in the most literal of ways, but in some ways. You love how invested I am into this? Thank you. I love how invested I am into this. This is the sort of thing I live for in games. When they really take advantage of that interactive aspect of the game. Because if we were watching this as a film or a TV show, everything is happening to the characters, and we're just watching passively. But because I, the player, have been banking all of this information and using it to solve these riddles, every little thing feels a little bit more personal to me, and the tools in my kit, wordplay kind of intended, are taking on new meaning. I mean, obviously, if there was some kind of radio drama, this reveal would still hit hard, but I don't know. The fact that I have had a hand in all of this makes it feel a little bit more real to me. Maybe this isn't the most solid example of gameplay integration to storytelling, but I like to feel it does. Or maybe just Ace Attorney and visual novels in general, like these mystery games, all have that in common. And just the fact they brought in time travel as kind of this almost humorous aspect of the trial, this silly little pie-in-the-sky delusion, and now they are turning it around to be a very tragic thing, and that kind of fantastical aspect of it only feeds into the tragedy even further, just because, like I said before, time travel is supposed to be this thing that people look at all starry-eyed and in wonderment, but for this guy, time travel is real, and in a worse way than we could have possibly imagined. I love this series, man. But you wouldn't understand. Right in the heart! So that's what Soren meant. He was talking about it himself. The reactions of the people around me each time I woke made me aware of my condition. That's why I decided to write down everything in my notebook, so I could move forward. So the only memories you have since that day are the ones written in that notebook. That's right. And that's why every single time, that's why when we saw Soren at the beginning of today, the first thing he said to us, he asked us, so you're Ellie's lawyer? It wasn't because he forgets people easily. It's because he read it in his notebook, and then he takes one look at us and says, okay, so that's what he looks like. Every little detail about this man just tugs the heartstrings. And since the page about your stabbing got stained, you couldn't read from it, could you? There's just one more thing I'd like you to clarify for me, Mr. Sprocket. Exactly what are your feelings towards the victim? Mr. Sprocket's feelings towards Dumas Gloomsbury? That's right, Your Honor. The witness said that every time he wakes up from sleep, his mind goes back to the day his sister died. Mr. Wright, you can't mean... Mr. Sprocket, your pent-up feelings of anger and resentment towards Mr. Gloomsbury for the accident were renewed each and every time you woke, were they not? But you couldn't take it anymore, so you turned to murder. Isn't that right? What? Mr. Wright, are you saying that the witness murdered Mr. Gloomsbury? For revenge? That's a bit of a leap in logic. Well, Mr. Sprocket, Soren wouldn't know. That happened on a previous day. And if the details of the stabbing were on the page that got muddied, then those pages probably contain any details related to the murder of the victim. So it's literally impossible for Soren to know about that. He can't admit to the murder if he can't remember it. Give me a second. I think I'm, whenever I voice act emphatically, it does something in my throat. So, either that or when I do certain voices. Miss Wyatt? Your Honor, I did it. I killed Miss Gloomsbury. No! What? Yep. Now that she knows the full truth about him, she doesn't want him to suffer anymore. Because what's worse than waking up to your life in affluence? Waking up in jail and realizing that you spread the pain around. What are you trying to do? Yep. Soren is innocent, he can't be found guilty, take me instead. That was before we knew about his memory. I guess she really meant it. Soren didn't do anything wrong. I'm the one who should be convicted. Are we to understand that you're confessing to your guilt? No. Wait just a minute here. Ellen, why would you cover for me? After I testified that I thought you must have killed him. Wonder how I'd voice the characters from Girl from Arcanium. It has some real good dialects. I see. Yep. I can't play it too soon. My chat needs to be in the know, so they can help me out. That's become part of the audience participation, after all. The knowing grins. I like them. I'll admit, I couldn't believe my ears at first. But all I want is for you to be happy. Your happiness is my happiness, Soren. Oh, hitting us with that very sincere smile. But without my notebook, I'd even forget those feelings of yours by tomorrow. Knowing that, do you still feel this way? You've loved me all this time, the same way you did before the accident. Oh, they knew each other before the accident? I got my timelines messed up then. That's how I know that you're the same person I have always loved. No disorder can change that. You know what I just remembered? The movie 50 First Dates. That one... that one started out... very humorous, and then became very heartfelt near the end. Ellen? Your Honor, there are two things I'd like to correct. Two corrections? What are they? First of all, I want to withdraw one of my statements. Dumas was killed by Ellen. Without memories to rely on, I took the police completely at their word. You can't be serious! So that means Soren never really doubted Ellen in the first place, did he, Nick? Ellen really does love Soren with all her heart. In order to save her, I'll still have to go after Soren. I hope you can forgive me, Ellen. I can see that I did not take myself completely out of frame for that one. I apologize. No, I am not doing another legal sim visual novel before I go on my next long-form game. This ended up being both my long-form game and my legal sim visual novel. So we will do a couple of short games, and then we're going to Zero, was it? Right, the mnemonic was Z to A. Gotcha. And what is your other correction, Mr. Sprocket? The truth is, I never felt any anger or resentment towards Dumas about my sister. What? Why not? That's because the one who caused the car accident was me. Are you covering for someone, or is this the truth? Yeah, I guess I did miss something that went on a little bit up further in the chat. What? Order! Order in the court! Please continue, Mr. Sprocket. I am the one who killed my sister. To protect my career and my future, my father made Dumas take the blame in exchange for money and the position of lead servant. Soren was the one driving. Oh no. So you see, Dumas must have held a grudge against me, not the other way around. And he must have attacked Ellen to get his revenge on me. Are you sure about all this, Mr. Sprocket? Very sure. It's all been written down in detail in my notebook. Written down in his notebook, huh? A notebook that I have only seen in the possession of two people, Soren and Pierce Nickety. That notebook is important evidence supplying background to this case. I must insist you submit it as evidence. A database-like notebook that chronicles the events of each day in minute detail. Alright. Sort of been writing nothing but ideas for conventions in Del Marte the last year. We probably began. Oh yeah, that was when it was evidence for me before. However, it is true that my older sister and Dumas are both dead because of me and my negligence. Dumas is the last name of the man who wrote The Count of Monte Cristo, one of, if not the most famous revenge story, starring Edmond Dantes, the Cavern King. You wonder if Dumas had revenge on the mind? Perhaps? I just glanced through Mr. Sprocket's notebook. I wasn't able to read the part about when he was stabbed due to the bloodstain. What's written here is about his sister's car accident is exactly as he stated. Your Honor, as long as it matches what's written in that notebook, can we still take the witness's testimony as valid in spite of his memory disorder? Yes, I believe we can. I understand now that the witness's memory is in disarray, but if what Mr. Sprocket himself wrote in this notebook is true, then that means, by the time Mr. Sprocket's party reached the scene, the victim had already been killed. Edward's right. I'm still in the same bind as before. But should I really simply accept the contents of the notebook as a substitute for Soren's memory? Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think? Will you accept Mr. Sprocket's notebook as an official representation of his memories? Will I accept Mr. Sprocket's notebook as an official representation of his memories? I mean, everyone has their own memories, but anyone can write in a book, so no. Wait a minute, Your Honor. The defense requests a chance to examine the notebook to see if it's trustworthy. Very well, but be quick about it. Thank you, Your Honor. So, how should we examine it? Well, we should look at it from all different angles to see if there's anything suspicious. All different angles, you say? There's no point if I don't look at what's inside. I have to open it. With your permission, Soren, here I go. Yikes. Oh, it's just the page Maya got all stained. But I guess it's not going to be very helpful at this moment. I'll keep going. Chat, what do you see in this image? We were talking about Rorschach before. What do you think, what does this look like to you? You know what? I'm gonna let you guys come to that conclusion. I'm going to really quickly fill up my water. Kirby, you know what to do. Three people see a butterfly? You know, when you mix Kirby and butterflies, you get a very traumatizing combination. If you know, you know. Well, here we are. Get your legal team has advised you to not answer that question like that in a public forum. I mean, you don't even need a vague shape to see that and everything. I know exactly what you're about. I know what you are. Alright, Phoenix will keep on going. This is the last page where there's writing. Something about this page doesn't sit right with me. Better take a closer look. I mean, it's torn. Huh? Page's been torn out. Looks like there was something written on it. It looks like a page has been torn out here. Mr. Sprocket, do you know what was written on it? Oh, that? I often tear out a page when I write somebody a note. I probably wrote something down for somebody, tore it out, and gave it to them. Yes, this is true. We've seen it in action. He likes his paper airplanes. Clunk. Oh yeah. That solves that then.
Objection!
Wait a minute. We can't ignore the possibility that something important was written on that page. But now that the page has been torn out, how can we determine what was written there? Well, let's see. Find what was written in the notebook. We should hold it up to the light, heat it up with a lighter, use fingerprint powder. Hold it up to the light? Oh, because there's like a nope, no, never mind. Nope. I thought we were gonna do some sort of carbon copy thing like we did earlier in the thing, so it would be fingerprint powder. If we use fingerprint powder in the notebook, you might be able to see what was written. Fingerprint powder? How would that help us find out what was written there? Well, the writing lent indentations on the blank page behind it, yeah. Fingerprint powder could make those small indentations visible to the naked eye. Oh, stop. Oh, stop, Wright. Fingerprint powder would only sully the notebook further. Mr. Wright, if you use the powder and still don't find anything, then you must accept the notebook as a representation of the witness's memories. Alright, Your Honor, I understand. If I don't find anything, it's all over anyway. Powder, don't fail me now. I will now use the fingerprint powder on the blank page to find out if we can see what was written on the torn out page. First, I'll apply some fingerprint powder to these pages of space. If that's not enough, I'll use blow! Hey, we all know that B is to blow, not R. To blow the excess powder away, something should appear. I should switch to analyze mode, Q. Point to what came up, then confirm my choice. Alright. Let's just keep on powdering. Just cover this whole thing up. And blow. Oh, it's we got something in the top right corner there. And we got something in the top left corner too. And we got something in the bottom right. We've got stuff. Okay, I guess I will analyze and give the old point. Not enough fingerprint powder on the page? Alrighty then. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, there's a whole other... There's a whole bottom section to this, I gotcha. Alright. Then what do we have here? You didn't get enough powder on the page, god dang it. I see where there's room for more, though. Okay. Okay. We can move the entire perspective around. Okay. Now are we good? It says, I struck and killed Dumas. This is huge. Am I ignoring the zoomed out diagram on the left side showing where on the book I'm looking? Yes, I was! Not willfully, though. I wasn't ignoring it, I just didn't notice it. That's what was written on the torn out page. Nonny! It haunts me. I don't believe it. There has to be some kind of mistake. Someone would never, could never. Damn. Miss Wyatt! Bailiff, please get the defendant to the infirmary at once. So as you can see, sometimes it's deserved. Apparently, the defendant got too worked up. She is resting in the infirmary as we speak. Now then, please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. This notebook is all Mr. Sprocket has to remember things by. With this critical page torn out, not even Mr. Sprocket himself knew the truth of what he had done. I'm the one who killed Dumas? So it wasn't Ellen? Oh, thank goodness. Mr. Sprocket, does that mean you were at the crime scene during the murder after all? I guess I must have been. Mr. Sprocket, can we really believe what's written in this notebook? Nobody touches this notebook but me. And when I sleep, it's under lock and key. I don't remember writing that I killed Dumas, but I guess I must have. Well, now that we have a confession, I'm afraid I must render my verdict. Of all the... Yes, Your Honor. Please give me your ruling now, while Ellen is asleep. I want the woman I love to be set free as soon as possible. Soren really does love Ellen after all, doesn't he? Yeah. So this is how it ends. But is that how it really went down? Is there really no way for them both to be happy? I know we should consider anything written in the notebook to be truth, but still. Phoenix knows for a fact that at least one other person has touched it. I pointed out earlier. Yep, and I'm waiting for that other shoe to drop. I myself wrote of the crime in my notebook. No further proof is necessary. Soren himself wrote in his notebook. Wait a minute. Very well. I will now give my verdict. Ellen is about to be found not guilty, and Soren will be convicted for the crime instead. Yet, am I really ready for the judge to give his ruling? No! Not when there's still more of the avenue left to explore. This court finds the defendant, Ellen Wyatt. Your Honor, there is still something that bothers me about that notebook. Oh, is there? What are you doing, Mr. Wright? All you have to do is keep quiet, and your client's a free woman. I know. I think there might be more to this case than meets the eye. I'm not quite sure yet, but I think there still might be a way for Ellen and Soren to be happy. What do you mean by more than meets the eye, Mr. Wright? I believe the question here, Your Honor, should be, why was the incriminating page torn out in the first place? Why, to destroy the evidence, I would imagine. But removing it from the notebook is the same as removing it from Mr. Sprocket's memory, which means he wouldn't have been able to trick the police if he came under suspicion. No. If he wanted to cover up his crime, he would have to remember that he had done it. Just what are you getting at with this line of inquiry, Mr. Wright? Yes, please explain it so that we all can understand. Yes, Your Honor. The page was torn out of the notebook because... I forget it was torn out by accident. Somebody else torn it out, baby! The incriminating page was torn out by somebody else. What? Order! Order! Are you claiming a third person interfered with the notebook? It's not all that surprising if you consider what's happened up until now. After both the car accident and the murder of Dumas Bloomsbury, there was always a cover-up not far behind. But I had my notebook with me at all times. Did you? Because I remember you in a panic yesterday because you couldn't find it. That's true. So, who orchestrated this particular cover-up, Mr. Wright? If we think back over the course of the trial, it's pretty easy to guess. The one who may have tried to tamper with Soren's memories is... tamper with his memories.
Take that!
The one who tampered with a notebook in order to manipulate Mr. Sprocket's memory is Pierce Nickety. Pierce? Pierce tried to tamper with my memories? Pierce was manipulating me? Case in point, the two receptions that were held to cover up the murder. It was Mr. Nickety who directed the guests and orchestrated the entire scheme. No. It can't be. Which of my memories are mine, and which have been rewritten? When did he start rewriting my memories? Who wrote this? And this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this? Okay, kind of a poorly timed crash out gag. We were early on to something that was really hard hitting. Look, Nick, he's coming back down. My memories. Ellen. Mr. Sprocket. Bailiff, please get Mr. Sprocket to the infirmary. On the double. Mr. Sprocket has been taken to the infirmary. We don't have to worry about him running away, so let us resume where we left off. Your Honor, the defense would like to call Pierce Nickety to the stand. We already know he carried out the cover-up to protect the company and Mr. Sprocket. What more do you want from him? Good. This time it's different. The notebook, or rather Mr. Sprocket's memories, have been tampered with. That means the only person who knows the whole truth is now Mr. Nickety. Don't tell me. Are you actually trying to drum up a third suspect in order to exonerate the defendant and her groom? I'm not drumming up anything, nor do I have grounds to accuse him of anything, yet. All I know is that Mr. Nickety is the only one who knows the truth. And I think he's still hiding something. Something we don't know about yet. No grounds yet, is it? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution consent to calling the witness to the stand? It does, Your Honor. However, I would like a little time to talk to the witness before we do. Very well. We will break for a 25-minute recess. 25 minutes? Oh, wow. How much longer do we have in this, trial? Can we go all the way to the end, or is it gonna be another extra hour over reset time? One more save. Because I have to. I mean, all we've got left is the testimony of Pierce Nickety, and then probably we'll find him guilty, maybe. You get 2 sections and the revisualization. I'm close to the end, but you know how long said end is, so how much is 2 sections? Is that half an hour long, or even 1 hour long? You're hoping we save it for another stream. Probably about as long as the first 2 sections with Soren were. So then, you couldn't tell me. That's unfortunate. I kind of want to just drive this to the end. You're bad at guesstimating how long it takes me to read things. Reasonable. A bit over reset. Well, it would be amusing if we ended up having a half-length stream. But, let's go ahead and do one of these. Let's start a poll. And let me see here. And hey, for all 10 of you currently in the stream, you know, you don't need to say anything. All you need to do is throw down your vote. You got 6 votes, and they are right down the middle. Finish it now, finish it next time. We've got 4 more votes. Not the 50-50. Oh, vote number 7 came in. You're kind of in between of the two, but you want more Ace Attorney where you don't fall asleep. You don't have a pony in this choice yourself, but another stream on this game is another stream for you to get their things done and dusted. Well, we got 7 votes, and 3 more people, but I think 7 is plenty. I'm going to take another nice long sip of my water. I'm going to hydrate up nice and well. Ah, that's some good water. I swear, I got a new type of I got a new type of filter. One that's different from my usual one, and I don't know, it seems to make the water taste a little bit more crisp. Got a midterm in the morning tomorrow. All right, for the sake of these midterms, we're going to go ahead and close the poll. It is 4 for next time, 3 against. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are not continuing on to the next chapter now. We're going to take it nice and easy, get back half an hour of our time, where we can use for activities, more sleep. So, that is going to take place next time. Ladies and gentlemen, you are very welcome for the stream. Glad you had a good time. Blurf. And thank you if you are watching this stream as a VOD. So you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, join the Discord. It is in the description. It'll let you know the next stream comes up. We will reconvene on Wednesday with probably a shorter stream wrapping up this case. And my goodness, what a memorable case it became. Not exactly in the 11th hour, but partway through. The case of Soren Sprocket hit me right here. I really should be responding to the winds and the goddess. But next time, we're going to bring this to a close, and I am probably going to do a whole lot more looking at concept art. So that'll be something to look forward to. Maybe I might queue up something quick afterwards, who knows. Depends on how much time we have left. Maybe just double up on games. No idea which game I'll double up on. Maybe that will be something to talk about in the Discord, which you should join. So, next time, we are going to be bringing this case to a close, and perhaps finding a happy ending for our star-crossed lovers, literally torn up and separated by time. How romantic. But yes, next time, more Ace Attorney. Until then, in and out.